Okay. Well, that was quite the victory for the Bulls tonight. So much better job compared to the game in DC. And props to them for coming out the correct mindset and getting another win at home. So the Bulls are finally no longer like garbage at home. So that's a really good sign. Beginning of the year, though, I would say that this was a very losable game for the Bulls because they were god-awful at home. Now after this isn't updated, but they're gonna be now 8-11 at home after this win against the Wizards. So good job by the Bulls to finally figure out that whole thing out. I don't know what exactly that beginning of the season was about, not playing good at home, but they figured it out. So good job there. Welcome in, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you guys checking in after the game. All right, so I was gonna give you the rundown of what's gonna happen tonight. Okay. We're obviously gonna talk about the game here. Levine with another 30 piece, career high for him. So I mean, I want you guys to understand that I don't know what Zach's numbers is now, but Zach was basically in this 30 piece. He was shooting basically 60% from the field, or sorry, in this streak of 5 straight games with 30 or more. He's basically shooting 60% from the field in this streak. It's just insane for a guard, bro. Like I cannot believe what we've been seeing from him. So this has been insane from Zach these past 5 games. So props to him, because I think he's really shutting up a bunch of the doubters right now, and he's making me look good at least. I'm going to talk about that. We're going to then talk about obviously the game. Talk about a lot of the good stuff tonight. I mean, 37 assists I think for the Bulls tonight they had. We'll talk about that a little bit, but I do want to get to Patrick Williams, because we need to have a talk, because dear Lord, do we have a kind of I don't know if you guys are on Bulls Twitter, but there's been a lot of stuff going on Bulls Twitter recently, including a Patrick Williams discourse that kind of got started today, and we got to talk about him, because there's a clip, and I'll just show it right now, because this has been the biggest thing of the entire day for Bulls Twitter. It's a clip basically showing Patrick Williams highlights from his rookie season against Orlando Magic, when the Magic were not exactly that great. And it's just so damn frustrating, because all of a sudden people are tweeting this out like, oh my God, see, like, Patrick was such a different player back then. What did the Bulls do to mess up his development? And look, I'm not here to say that Pat is, or the Bulls, like, are blameless in terms of Pat's development. I'm not here to say that, but at the end of the day, I do think a lot does fall onto the player. And when some of the stuff that I see from some people, just it's very odd to see it. And what I mean by that is they're saying that the Bulls, like Arturas Karnisovas and Billy Donovan, they're saying that the Bulls completely messed up his development. And I'm just like, listen, if we're gonna say that the front office and Billy Donovan messed up P. Will's development, okay, then what do we talk about when it comes to the other guys? Okay, the other guys that actually did develop into better players in their time here under this front office regime. And I think there's a lot that we need to discuss, but just so if you don't know, here's the tweet. Okay, this was retweeted quote tweeted by a lot of people tonight or today, and it was just like, oh my god, like look, he's just such a different player. And I do think that maybe he was looking a little bit different in these clips here, but this is also a clip of his rookie season. This isn't the entire rookie season, showing of what Patrick Williams does with the basketball. This was a little highlight snippet that's not even a minute long of some good plays from Patrick Williams. Okay, that's it. All right. Mind you, I just want you guys to understand that this is a 20 piece by Patrick Williams. Patrick Williams has only gone on to score 20 points in a game in 7 more times in his career. Okay, so this isn't like, hey, this was a consistent thing for Patrick Williams in his rookie season. All right, he didn't score 20 points consistently in his rookie season. I want to make that very clear. But for some reason, people are acting as if this was like typical Patrick Williams every single night. This was not typical Patrick Williams every single night his rookie year. Okay. We'll get into that a little bit more as we get into the game, because I do want to talk a little bit about the game and obviously what he did tonight. And then we'll head kind of right into this, because we got to have a discussion about this. Because the discourse is it's already getting to a point where it's like, I am the first person that will blame the front office, and I am a major Billy Donovan critic, but there's always a point where it goes too far, and sometimes you just got to look at the player at the end of the day. So I'm just going to say that to start out as we head into talking about the game tonight. What's going on, Delbert? I appreciate you being here. Thank you for checking in. Gotta look back. Yeah, this was much better compared to the Pacers game where, God almighty, the Bulls were missing easy shots in the Pacers game. Go in, but man, Patrick Williams in our triple single as a starter. Not only was it just a triple single, if you want to count it as that, but just easy shots missed for Pat tonight. A lot of stuff that went bad for Pat tonight, and we'll discuss it. I promise you. Bulls just returned the favor for getting blown out in the last game versus the Wizards. Pat is a guy that would be better if he had a good number of offensive players around him. Woodage, I don't know if that's true. That's a hypothetical that I don't know if would actually be true. I want to believe that Pat would be better if he had better offensive players around him, but I don't know if that's honestly true. I really don't. Also, if the idea is that if we need Pat's scoring to increase, but yet everyone keeps talking about he doesn't have the ball in his hands enough, like, well, if he has better offensive players around him, then what is, he doesn't get the ball anymore. Like, that's the whole thing. So I don't know if that's necessarily true, Woodage. I have my doubts about that, and we'll explain. Okay, first things first though, the game. So I think this is honestly, like, just in terms of offense, this is one of the best performances by the Bulls all season long. The ball was popping. No matter what sort of set the Bulls were running tonight, the Wizards just did not know what to do for whatever reason. So props to the Bulls for playing good, but also Wizards defense looked dreadful tonight. So good job by the Bulls to take advantage of it. 49 threes tonight by the Bulls, which looked really good. A lot shot in that, I think, third quarter, which was awesome. Bulls hit 9 threes that third quarter, which is great. 39 assists. I did not realize they got up to that number. So 39 assists for the Bulls tonight is fantastic. Just shows you just how well this team is honestly doing in terms of in general offense. Like, even when the shot isn't going down, I think in general this offense looks really solid. So props to Billy for that. Again, I'm a Billy Donovan critic, but I give him his props for this Bulls offense. It does help the Wizards to not really play defense tonight, but obviously you got to take advantage of that. 55% for the field, 46% for three-point range on 49 attempts. Not a lot of free throw shot for either team, which is fine. But just overall, again, the assist numbers are insane. That's awesome to see. This is what happens when you play an up-tempo style and you are willing to shoot the three ball consistently. You're going to get these assist numbers, which is awesome. The Bulls have been consistently above 25 assists per game in almost every single game. So that's a very good sign overall. The stats, though, for some, like, important stats here. Second chance points for the Bulls. This is kind of like a bigger shock, I think, in terms of what we expect from this Bulls team, is just that they had 17 second chance points tonight. That's not typical for this team. They're pretty small. So that's a pretty significant number for this team. That's really cool to see. Bulls had 24 fast break points. That's a big thumbs up from me. Keep doing that. That's always, anytime you get into the 20s is a really good thing for the Bulls, or just any team, honestly. 52 points in the paint tonight. I thought this would be higher. I was not keeping track of this as the game went on. Bulls scored like their first 12 points in the paint tonight of the game. So, they just went out and just straight up dominated the paint to start the game, led by Zach. And then the three-point shot eventually came around. So, good things there. Individually, I think this is a very good game for a lot of people. I think, first and foremost, once again, LaVine with his another 30-piece, fifth straight game with 30 or more for Zach, which is a career high for him. In this stretch, he is just shooting an insane percentage. So this has just been an incredible run for Zach. I'm happy to see it for Zach, just for him as a player. As a LaVine fan, this is also just great to witness. And he's making me look really good. I told people, man, that you can't just suddenly say that Zach is done, Zach is washed heading into the season, and he's proving me right. Not trying to be like, hey, look, I'm right all the time. I'm not. I'm wrong a good decent amount of times. But the one thing that I was really annoyed with was when people said that LaVine's done. He can't play anymore. Well, here we go. So he's, I think, honestly put those critics to bed, and we'll see about the future with him. I'm interested to see what the Bulls do. Vucevic with a very, very efficient game tonight. This was kind of a really good sign from Vuce because he did not have that good of a game against Washington in DC. And Vuce's efficiency in January has been very dreadful so far to start the new year. This is what we need to see from Vuce again. So, 4 of 6 from 3-point range, 75% overall from the field. He's making his interior shots, which is great. Another double-double for him as he keeps climbing that number in terms of Bulls history. So, nice job from Vuce tonight. Very, very, very efficient game, which is what we need to see from him moving forward. I think Giddey, overall, I think it was a little bit of a rough start for him, but he eventually came around and did a really good job in the second quarter of pushing tempo and got some easy looks at the basket because he pushed tempo, which is, I need to see more of that, okay? What we need to see more from Josh Giddey is that attack the defense when there is no shot blocker, attack the defense when it's not set, because Giddey's struggles at the rim are there, but if you can attack the defense when the defense isn't set, then that's a very good chance. That's a much easier way to get points for Giddey. So good things there from Josh in the second quarter, and then his rebounding is continuing to be very solid. So that needs to continue for Josh moving forward, and he's done just that. 7 assists for him as well, as everyone got into the assists tonight. 3 steals also from Josh. His hands have been very good. I think overall his overall defense still has some work to do in terms of effort and everything, but I do appreciate the active hands from Josh. That's something that can continue, and I'll be very happy with from Giddey. So keep doing that if you're Josh Giddey. Just get your hands into the passing lanes, getting him stripped the ball, etc. Lonzo Ball, I think, had his best game of in a while in terms of just overall performance. Now, Lonzo's impact is obviously stuff that doesn't always show up in the box score. His defense is elite. But he finally found his three-point stroke again, which is what we need to see from Lonzo. Again, I'm not putting any expectations on him. I'm just saying that it's just good to see this from Zoe, because Lonzo's three-point percentage has overall just been really, it's been much lower than I expected this year. It's been kind of up and down year from three-point range for Zoe. So 4 for 7 is a really good sign from him. I hope that continues. But again, no expectations. If he, ends up struggling next game, that's perfectly fine. 22 minutes for him, so we'll be keeping track of those minutes. But he's been really looking really good. So I'm not really concerned right now about the minutes at all. I'm more concerned about his wrist, if anything. Jalen Smith, I think, had his best game also in a while. Efficient Jalen Smith. 5 of 6 from the field, 3 of 4 from 3-point range, 15 points in 17 minutes. 6 rebounds for him as well. So this is the Jalen Smith I want to see moving forward. Efficiency, being able to score a lot of points in just a few minutes. Doesn't really need the basketball to actually get his points, honestly. Like he's just a really good floor spacer, good rim runner. And so this is the Jalen Smith I want to see moving forward. I understand that his efficiency has not been as good this year, but this is very clearly the Jalen Smith I was expecting. So more of this would be awesome. I don't expect him to shoot 83% every single night, but just overall good efficiency is what I'm hoping to see more from Jalen Smith. This is a very good game from him off the bench. So good stuff there from Jalen Smith. And then I know a lot of people don't like him right now, but Taylor Horton-Tucker, I think, had a pretty solid game. He had some nice finishes at the basket. I think he overall played a solid game on both ends. His three-point shot was nice. So I appreciate this from Taylor Horton-Tucker because I understand right now he's a lot of people are calling for his head. Not happy when he gets minutes. I also think Buzelis or Phillips need to get his minutes right now. But at the end of the day, all Taylor Horton-Tucker can do is just listen to coach and go out and play. So this is a much better game for him than recent. Better finishes at the basket, better defense overall, more in control for Taylor Horton-Tucker tonight, which is good to see. So that's really good from THT. Again, I don't want to really see THT minutes at the moment. I'm with all the people that say that THT's minutes are not exactly deserving, or probably really shouldn't be playing at the moment just due to development between Phillips and Buzelis. And I can understand that. I can get behind that sentiment. I just, at the same time, players don't really get to control the rotation. So if THT is going to go and play because Billy said so, then he's got to go and play. He can obviously not play well, but he's been playing pretty well. He played pretty well in this game. So he had a nice start to the year. It's been kind of a downhill since kind of mid-season-ish. But it's obviously a better sign tonight. So those are the kind of the main spotlights tonight I want to give to these guys in terms of individual performances. So yeah, big shout out to those guys that I mentioned. And now, unfortunately, we have to go and talk about the unfortunate stuff that happened tonight, and we'll get into that really quickly. Before that, though, just shot chart. Here's a shot chart for the Bulls, so good job there by this team. And for the Wizards, I won't lie, I was scared that Jordan Poole was gonna just like have one of those games. He got off to a pretty quick start. He had 2 threes early on, but Bulls denied the ball enough to not prevent him from like at least like going insane. He still hit 6 threes tonight, so it wasn't like the Bulls stopped him or anything, but they at least kind of contained him just enough so he didn't get the basketball all the time. I won't lie. I think Sarr either missed him or just took some unnecessary shots, so we'll take it. And Wizards, struggling team overall. Kuzma also just did not look exactly that great tonight. Missed some gimmies, so Bulls will take that, and they ran with it and got easy points out of it. So good job by the Bulls tonight. And just kind of everything overall defensively was also pretty solid. Limited the turnovers enough. 39 assists. Just efficiency was through the roof. Did everything they were supposed to, which is what they did not do in Washington. So they did it at home tonight at least. So good for them. Okay, so that was a quick recap of this game. I just want to make it clear that this is going to be a shorter stream tonight. I have a work schedule tomorrow, so I do apologize about that. But before I'm not ending stream anytime soon here, but I just want to make it clear that I'm not going to be going on like a 2-hour Patrick Williams rant. But we are going to talk about P. Will right now, okay? Because this, I think, is something that needs to be talked about, and I just think that some of the discourse right now is going the wrong direction, and I want to at least try to steer it in the correct direction when it comes to Patrick Williams and the whole thing. His development, people saying that Billy failed him, the front office failed him, DeMar DeRozan failed him. Whatever you want to say, I'm here for it. So throw your opinions in chat. Wootage, unfortunately, I disagree with this statement right here. I don't think Pat would be better if he had more offensive players around him. I really don't. But I'm willing to hear why you think that, and I'm also willing to hear anybody's opinion on this sort of stuff here. But let me just start with this, okay? When it comes to Patrick Williams and his development, all right, I think with Pat, the first thing that I think we've all have to understand when it comes to him is Pat. I will admit that I think the COVID, everything when it comes to COVID when Pat was drafted. So no real draft combine. The workouts are weird. You're drafted at a weird time. I do think that maybe affected him a little bit. Okay. I think it also affected a decent amount of other players. However, I also do think that the players that did get affected by it. I think that once, things kind of returned to normal-ish, they figured out their ways. Reminder that Tyrese Halliburton was drafted in the same draft class, and I think, he's doing just fine. So is Anthony Edwards, okay? I understand that they're probably more talented than Patrick Williams, but I do think that guys, eventually did figure things out. Now, at the same time, James Wiseman was also drafted in the same draft class, and he didn't really turn into anything, okay? So what if it is just, the timing, COVID, whatever, I do think it did affect Pat a little bit, okay? I'm going to give him that. I also think, though, that draft class was weird as hell, okay? Because of the circumstances, again, no draft combine, things were weird, timing was off, you're being drafted at a different time than normal. Workouts really are just weird workouts. You have to make sure you follow all COVID protocols. Workouts are pretty secret. No one really knows whose draft stock is going up or down at the time because you didn't have a draft combine. I do think that in general, that draft was weird for everybody. And I think because of how it all worked out, Patrick Williams probably went a little bit higher than what he probably would have went if it was a normal draft. Because if you have a typical draft combine, if you have typical workouts, maybe guys actually show a little bit more in terms of their workouts, and Pat doesn't go number 4 to the Bulls, okay? But due to everything that was, that happened, all right, Patrick Williams went number 4, the Bulls selected him, okay? Now, at the same time, it's not Pat's fault that he went number 4. But being a number 4 overall pick does come with expectations. And overall, Pat has not met those expectations. And unfortunately, just due to how Pat has been as a player, he has not really developed at all in terms of from his rookie season until now. Pat is relatively, now he's done little things to improve, but he is relatively the same player he was his rookie season. Relatively, okay? You can look at the stats, you can look at just the impact, you can just watch the games. He is basically the exact same player as he was his rookie season. Relatively similar, all right? Again, not one-to-one same, but relatively the same, okay? So I'll put that out there. Again, it's not his fault that he was drafted number 4, okay? But at the end of the day, his development has not gone the way that it probably should have, all right? And again, I do think maybe COVID kind of affected him. Remember, he didn't have a summer league his rookie season, okay? He was not able to play summer league in his rookie season. He played his sophomore season, which was very helpful for him, but he didn't have a summer league when he got initially drafted by the Bulls, all right? So again, things were weird. I understand that things were weird. And I do want to throw Pat a bone because things were weird for him when he initially got drafted into the NBA, all right? Now, when it comes to development, all right, I do think that this Bulls team overall, when it comes to player development, has not exactly been the best. Especially under the Garpax era, this Bulls team was not developing players enough as they should have. Look at Chris Dunn. Look at Lauri Markkanen when he was here. Wendell Carter Jr. is also relatively the same. Okay, now some of them played more years under the Garpax era. Some played less. But at the end of the day, there are players that, as you can see during that time, did not develop that well, and had more years under Garpax. But then there are players that did have some years under Garpax that have developed under the AKME regime, okay, including a Garpax pick, notably named Kobe White. All right, and this is where I tell people that we have to be careful when it comes to blaming everything on the front office and blaming everything on Billy Donovan. Was Jim Boylen a good head coach? No. Was Jim Boylen a good coach for development? No. Okay, and you can go look at Lauri Markkanen, and you can go look at Chris Dunn. You can go look at Wendell Carter Jr. Those guys did not develop well under Jim Boylen, and I do think Boylen had some sort of effect on that. Okay, Boylen was running an offense that was very, very, very bad. If you're saying that it's similar to this offense that the Bulls are running now, it's not. Boylen had Thaddeus Young shooting 3-point shots. There was little to no movement in the offense. There were too many simple plays within the offense. He didn't understand how to effectively get guys to their most efficient areas of the floor. There was not enough, in my opinion, that said like, hey, yeah, Jim Boylan is a good coach in terms of developing guys, especially on offense. Like, no, he wasn't. Okay. Defensively, the Bulls were better under Boylan, I guess, a little bit, but it was just because their blitz defense was so effective in the first quarter, but it was ineffective in the fourth. I'll digress about Boylan. Okay. Now, we go into then the AKME regime, and the first move basically under the AKME regime is drafting Patrick Williams. Okay. So Pat was not drafted by Paxson or Gar. Okay. He was drafted by this current front office. He is now in year 5. He got a new contract that is worth $90 million over 5 years. So props to him. Congratulations. But Pat got this long contract, and it's because of the player, at least the archetype that he has been showing so far. Is he going to turn into Kawhi Leonard? No. Is he going to turn into, another like typical two-way forward that's an all-star level like Jason Tatum or whatever? No. Okay. But in terms of what Pat at least has already shown, right, in his rookie season and his rookie contract seasons, even with the injuries, okay, he has shown that he's a pretty decent three-point shooter, and he has at least some versatility to guard multiple positions, and he's 6'7" with at least like 225 pounds on his body. That enough is going to give you a decent chunk of money in the NBA today, just due to how the teams play. However, we knew this rookie season, okay? We knew this in his rookie year. We saw the three-point percentage be at least decent enough where you're like, okay, this is good enough from Pat, where you're like, hey, he's probably at least an okay three-point shooter, at least for now, okay? The body type was already there. He came in already as a grown man, pretty much. He didn't have to really develop into his body whatsoever. Okay, he didn't come in like skinny as a twig, all right? So pretty much, though, what he got paid for is basically what we kind of knew from his rookie season. Again, give a little bit more, obviously, from rookie year, but that's kind of what we've seen from Pat, is just from rookie year till now, it's been the same player. So he got paid based off the player he's been since his rookie season. So in general, I do think that Pat has not developed, obviously, under this front office. Do I think the front office and Billy Donovan have had some play in terms of Pat's lack of development? Yes, I do. However, at the same time, I do not think that we should be saying that the front office bringing in DeMar DeRozan is the reason why that Patrick Williams has failed to develop. I also do not think that the reason why we cannot be blaming that the reason why Patrick Williams has not developed any more offensively is because Billy Donovan has decided that he is going to put him in a role where it plays to his strengths, okay? At the end of the day, at least from so far what we've seen from Patrick Williams, okay, he has an inability to dribble effectively and consistently. He has an inability to finish consistently at the rim, no matter if it's a layup or a dunk, okay? He does not have that consistent ability to shoot shots off the dribble, okay? And overall, his handling as a pick-and-roll ball handler is not very good. Those are just 4 things that, at least in my opinion, that Billy Donovan really does not have much of a say in terms of any of that, okay? A lot of those things that I just mentioned does not fall on the front office, does not fall on Billy Donovan. It falls on Patrick Williams himself to develop as a player, all right? We're talking about, again, finishing at the basket, shooting off the dribble, okay? Handling the ball effectively and not turning it over and dribbling off your foot consistently, and then actively being a good pick and roll ball handler so that you deserve the ability to run pick and roll sets and have the ball in your hands and be the decision maker within the offense, okay? Now, you can say that Pat should have had more opportunities to run pick and roll so that he can develop into that sort of player and understand and gain the tools and gain the knowledge of how to be that sort of player, okay? But at the end of the day, a coach is going to put you in spots where he thinks your strengths play the best. And Patrick Williams' strengths right now, as a player still today, which is very similar to his rookie season, is being a spot-up three-point shooter, catch-and-shoot three-point shooter, a guy to space the floor and potentially set some screens, okay? And also be a off-ball cutter when he figures that part out of his game soon, which we still have not seen, okay? I will say that I think Patrick Williams, when in terms of his like his off-ball awareness on offense, I think the coach does play a role in that. But at the same time, I also think that the player plays a significant role in that as well. So if you want to blame Billy for Pat's lack of off-ball movement and off-ball awareness and understanding timings of when to cut to the basket, sure, I'll give you that one. But at the same time, I think it's just on the player to recognize it. If for whatever reason, Patrick Williams has not recognized when it's the correct moments to be moving off ball, whether it's to the basket or moving around at the three-point line. He has not done enough of it so far to surely show me that he understands how to play within the offense consistently in terms of his off-ball movement, okay? So, yet again, I am just pointing this out to everybody one more time. There is a lot that falls on a player's shoulders when it comes to development. And when you look at Pat in terms of his mentality and what he has done on the basketball court, and so far now, 4.5 seasons, I understand he's been injured, but through 4.5 seasons, all right, he has been in basically the same mindset since his rookie season. About the same. It's relatively the same. How much is really on Billy Donovan for that? How much is on the front office for that? You can say a little bit, but I don't think at the end of the day you can really say that it's a lot. Okay? Again, this is just my opinion. And the biggest reason why I really start to despise the people that say Billy and the front office is the biggest reason why Patrick Williams has failed to develop is that I look at Kobe White, I look at Ayo Dosunmu, and I'm like, well, how did these guys develop into being better players under this regime? Reminder that Ayo Dosunmu was drafted a year after Patrick Williams got here, okay? Was drafted by the same front office, got played by the same coach, okay? That played next to the same DeMar DeRozan, the same Zach LaVine, the same Nikola Vucevic, okay? The same Lonzo Ball when he was healthy for a little bit, the same Alex Caruso, right? And Ayo, at least in my opinion, has developed as a player. He doesn't have the same potential as Pat, obviously, but he has developed significantly as a player, as a ball handler, as a defender, as a guy to understand his timings, when to move within the offense, as a finisher around the basket, as a guy to play well in transition. Ayo, at least from what I'm seeing, has seriously developed in that area. And not to mention, he's had some pretty good years from three-point range so far. It's been up and down, for sure, but it has been something that he has really worked on, and I see the development in my very own eyes, and you can just look at the stats just to show you, okay? Kobe White also played with the same DeMar DeRozan, the same Zach LaVine, the same Nikola Vucevic, the same Alex Caruso, the same Lonzo Ball, okay? The same guard-heavy lineup, the same guard-heavy team that people talk about. There's so many damn guards on this roster. Same damn head coach that plays a lot of guards, and yet he found a way to develop and become a 19-point per game scorer in this league. He is now a starter for this team and averaging 19 points per game. Okay? So while I understand that people want to say, well, DeMar DeRozan hindered Pat's development, or Billy Donovan messed up Pat's development, and he continued to play guys in the same position as Pat. Well, I look around and I'm just like, this team was guard heavy. Yet I see two guards that found a way to break through in the rotation and found a way to develop and impact the game significantly, even when Kobe was coming off the bench in his fourth year and people were talking about how good he was playing. Okay. The numbers weren't that fantastic from Kobe, but we saw the development under our very own eyes. Okay. And again, you're playing in a guard-heavy system, and we see the development. I understand, though, when it comes to Ayo, like, people want to, like, if you want to get onto that. Like, Ayo, I will say, like, Lonzo got injured, Caruso got injured. I'm aware of that, all right? But Kobe plays the same position as Zach does, and yet he still found a way to break through the rotation, be an effective player, and when we saw last year, we got put into the starting lineup, he was ready for the opportunity. Okay? I just look at this, and I'm like, man, same damn head coach, same damn players, same damn front office. And I'm like, well, why can these guys develop and significantly improve their games? Yet Patrick Williams the excuses are the same damn front office, the same damn head coach, the same damn players are preventing him from becoming the player that he can become. That's the part that I look at people saying this all this stuff, and I'm like, I don't know what you guys are looking at. Like, this is right here what I'm looking at right now. I'm looking at the same players and the same damn regime, the same roster overall, same coach. I look at two players that were able to develop, and I look at a guy, Patrick Williams, that was not able to develop. So when the variables are pretty controlled overall, I understand they play different positions, but when the variables are pretty controlled, then what does the blame go to then? Okay? At the end of the day, it goes to the player, at least in my opinion. And especially when it comes to Patrick Williams, it goes to him. If there's anything that I have learned through watching basketball I guess this is now, I guess I've officially passed a decade of watching professional or NBA basketball for full seasons, okay? Because now we're 2025. Guys just have different mentalities on the court. There are just guys that have different mentalities when you look around the court. There are just guys that you see that are just not afraid to take the last shot. Guys that want the basketball no matter where they are on the basketball court. Guys that make decisions in split seconds. And then there are guys that you watch and you see the reason why that they have not fully taken that next step. And it's because they are hesitant to make decisions. They are afraid to make they're trying to make the right basketball play, but they're just in their head constantly. But then they're also just guys that don't know when it's right to shoot the basketball and if they should shoot the basketball, and they're scared to figure out when it's the proper time. Pat, just since he's come into the NBA, okay, he has shown to me, doesn't matter what year it is, rookie year to now, he has shown that he is not exactly a player that looks for a shot. He just doesn't, okay? There's a very clear difference between a Zach LaVine and Patrick Williams in terms of guys that are looking to shoot the basketball, or in terms of their mentality of when they're going to be looking to shoot shots, right? Zach's going to shoot every shot he can. Pat is going to just, whenever he feels 100% comfortable, he will take the shot, right? Guys that basically have had to beg him to shoot more or to be more aggressive and attack the basket or look to attack a mismatch. Guys have had to beg him to do more of that. And when that is ever inside of a player, that always concerns me. That's a major red flag. For a guy who, in terms of Pat, in terms of how he's built and all the potential that people say that he has, that's something that I don't know it can ever change. That's something that I don't know if a coach can ever change. That's something that I for sure know a front office will never change. Okay? Because, at least in my opinion, a coach cannot give you confidence, but they could damn sure take it away. So if you want to say Billy Donovan took away Pat's confidence, sure. But you cannot be saying that Billy Donovan failed to give Pat confidence, because I really do not think that a coach can give a player confidence. You're just kind of built in a certain way, and that's just how you are. When I look at Montes Buzelis, when I look at his mentality, I look at him even when he misses shots, and he's a rookie. He's gonna have hard moments at the rim. But anytime possible, when Buzelis gets the basketball, he goes and tries to attack the rim at all costs. Even when he knows there's a shot blocker there, he is trying his best to dunk on that guy. Okay? We saw him trying to do it against Wemby, right? That's what I want to see from Pat. But I know when it comes to Pat, he will not do that. And we saw it at least in that game against the Spurs. Pat tried to dunk over Wemby. That's not consistent. He doesn't do that consistently, right? With Buzelis, I know that he is looking to shoot every shot possible. He is not afraid to shoot the basketball when he knows there's a defender flying at him, okay? He is looking to attack the basket and cause harm on that rim at any time possible. That's something that cannot be taught. That's something that cannot be nurtured into a guy. That is something that a guy just has, right? And at the end of the day, I would much rather have a player that is scared. Sorry, I would much rather have a player that is shooting way too much, and I'd have to try to reel him back in and be like, hey, don't shoot that shot. But he's shooting so much because he has full confidence in every shot that he takes, okay? Versus a player that I know has that potential, but I'm basically begging for them to shoot the shot. I am begging for them to take a three-point shot, even if it's like not even a wide open. I am begging for them to attack the basket when I see that opportunity for them, but they don't know exactly when to take that timing or when they should attack the basket. I am begging them to attack the rim with no fear and try to bully your way through a shot blocker, okay? I would much rather have the guy that has that mentality that he has full confidence in every shot that he takes, every time he attacks the basket, he's going to try to dunk it. Much rather have that guy and try to reel him back versus a guy that I have to basically just scream at him and say, shoot it, shoot it, shoot it. Please shoot the damn basketball. Please. Okay? Because when I look around this team, right, we know Zach's going to take every shot that he can. Vooch is also looking for every shot that he can get. Kobe White is similar, right? Kobe White will launch threes constantly. I mean, the dude's been launching threes all season long. Lonzo will launch every single wide open three-point shot at the three-point line that he can get. Jalen Smith is going to launch every shot that he gets that's open. Okay? And no matter what, I know that Montes Buzelis is going to be trying to attack that basket with full authority. And even when he doesn't, when he catches shoot opportunities, he is launching that shot like that, right? Pat, though, I don't know. I don't know how many shots we're going to get from him every single night. I feel like it's always just going to be like around like 8 to 10-ish, but sometimes I don't know. Sometimes he only shoots 4 times, okay? And there are always times when throughout a game, I look at Pat and I'm like, well, why didn't you attack the basket here when I feel like you had a mismatch? Or why didn't you shoot that three-point shot when I feel like you were open enough to take it? Okay? But the biggest thing, no matter what, through Pat's career has been the catch and think. If you guys don't know what that means, is basically and Pat's always been the biggest culprit of this, but he's not the only one. But whenever a guy like Patrick Williams gets a pass from, like, you know, let's say Levine, drives hard to the basket, draws multiple defenders, and he kicks it back out to Patrick Williams, okay? Pat then catches the ball at three-point line, and he does what I call a catch and think. He doesn't catch and shoot the basketball. He doesn't catch and drive it, okay? These are split-second decisions, right? He doesn't also catch it and pass it, right? He catches it and thinks about it. It'll take a second to think about what to do, and that 1 second is way too long because now the defense is rotated, okay? So in that 1 second, he could have passed it, he could have shot it, he could have drove it, and he decided to do neither of those three, and instead he just held on to the basketball, okay? That's what I call catch and think. And Patrick Williams has been the biggest culprit of that throughout this entire time AKA and Emmy have been with this team, okay? Since Billy Donovan has taken over, Patrick Williams has been the biggest culprit of this, okay? I would assume there's another guy that has done it, but I think he's done a lot better in the last couple seasons of not doing just that. He's done like a lot better job. Alex Caruso was also another guy when he was here. He would also do that occasionally, where he would just catch and think about it. He wouldn't shoot it, he wouldn't drive it, he wouldn't pass it. He would just catch it and just kind of hold on to the ball for a second and not know what to do with it. That's where Pat, though, has really shown me that he is not taking that next step. If he's ever going to take that step mentally, he is not taking that next step, okay? That's been the biggest frustrating part about it. And again, I do not think that this is something that the coaches can teach. This is not something that the front office can change. This is strictly on Patrick Williams to either change his mindset or that he is just the player that he is in terms of his mindset, okay? It's frustrating as hell to see this, because you see the potential, you see some games, and it's like, wow, see, you can have a serious impact on the basketball court. But then his mentality just isn't always there. It's never always 100% there where it needs to be. And that alone will at least tell me that it's on the player. There just comes a time and place, guys, where you have to just start looking at the player. And with Pat, I don't think everything's on him, right? I don't think every bit of his development, I don't think everything is on him for his lack of development. But in the end, I think it's mostly on him. Okay? He has not taken the necessary steps to improve his game. But not only that, mentally, he has not changed. He has not gained any sort of confidence playing in multiple seasons in the NBA. That's the biggest thing. And I don't know if he needs to go and get some sort of guy to like be his sidekick and basically hype him up and like, you know, I don't know, just like every rapper has their sidekick that tries to does little ad libs here and there, but like, it's like I don't know what it's gonna take. But Pat needs to go and either figure out the mental part of his game, or he needs to start really figuring out how to improve his game overall so that he has the confidence to go and use it in the game. That's what's got to change. It's either one. It's either Pat's got to figure it out mentally, or he's got to seriously work on his game so that it improves to a point where he feels so confident that he does not have any sort of lack of confidence within a game. Okay? That's what it's got to take. The only way, at least for what I see from Patrick Williams right now, to increase his confidence is he has to go work on his game. So that he has full confidence no matter what. If he's driving hard to the basket, he has full confidence that he's going to make the layup. He has full confidence he's going to be able to make that dunk. He has full confidence in that the three-point shot that he just took is going down. Right? That's what it's going to take for Patrick Williams. And whose fault does it lie on when it comes to lack of development in terms of your overall game? There are coaches here that can help a little bit here and there. Pierre Patton's a nice shooting coach, right? But in the end, who's putting in the work? It all comes down to Pat. And with Pat, he has seriously not improved enough in his 5 years. And I really do not think it just falls on the coaches anymore when it comes to that. So, that's my end of my long, thought-out explanation of where I am just seeing the discourse on Patrick Williams on Twitter has just been, like, it's frustrating to see people that are still trying to defend him, use excuses, blame Billy, blame the front office, okay? This front office, 1,000,000% is at fault for this team's lack of success, lack of direction, you name it, okay? But I really do not think that this front office is at fault for the reason why Patrick Williams is the same damn player he was since his rookie season. They're not at fault for the reason why Patrick Williams can't make a damn layup consistently in traffic. Okay, that's definitely not their fault. And it's really not Billy's fault either when you really start to think about it, right? It all comes down to Pat. And Pat has not improved enough to where he is confident enough that every shot that he takes is going to go down. That's all on Pat, and he has to figure it out. So, I don't know what exactly is going to be the moment for Pat where he either realizes it and either is going to run with it and like actually try to actively get himself better, or he's going to fold. I don't know when it's going to happen, or has it already happened and Pat has basically accepted the player that he is today. Don't know, right? But it's going to happen, right? It's going to happen at some point. If it hasn't already happened already. And I'll just be interested to see what happens from it. Paxton from 0305 was the best when it came to scouting, drafting, and development. I think Paxton overall in that time was a pretty good overall scout. But that's honestly it. I think there's a development and everything. Again, I just think the guys that they had, right, they had the right mentality overall. Again, it wasn't perfect, but the right mentality will get you a long way. In your own personal development. That'd be a big part of Pat's mental on court, been the same or hasn't improved. Yep, I agree. Bubba. Boo Baba, sorry. Appreciate you being here, by the way. I appreciate you checking in. Montes is no fear. Yeah, that's the reason why when it comes to Buzelis, man, I have full faith in Buzelis moving forward that he will not be the same player he is his rookie year. Okay? Like, he will be better. I don't know how much better Buzelis will be. There are some things with Buzelis that I do think, you look at, you're like, okay, I don't know what his ceiling really is, but I promise you, he will not be what he is this year. Okay? I understand he's getting limited minutes, but, like, in terms of just overall play and, like, impact on the game, he already has a pretty significant impact with his block, his shot blocking. But I promise you, Buzelis will be a better player in his career than his 5 years down the road than his rookie season. I promise you that. Just because just his mentality alone is perfect. That he will be better than what we see today. Don't know how much better, but you will see that he'll be better significantly, at least. That you'll be like, okay, yeah, he's not the same player that he was his rookie year. Again, don't know how much better. Just putting that out there. So this year's the year he should be least afraid to shoot. I agree. I do think that this should be the year where Pat is like launching at least 6 threes a game. Yet he has not done that, and it's frustrating as hell to watch because we're still seeing those moments where I'm like, why didn't you shoot it? Like, if Pat really just does not have faith right now, or just does not have the ability to, catch it, fake the three, and drive hard to the basket and finish, then if he ever does catch the ball at the 3-point line and he has to make that decision, I am perfectly fine just him shooting the 3-point shot, and I'll live with it. Okay? I would much rather him just shoot that 3-point shot and just live with the results of it than him, catching thinking and be like, what do I do with it? Do I drive? Do I pass? Do I shoot? And nothing comes out of it. Okay? If he just would shoot it every single time, I would be a much happier person right now when it comes to him. I would not be as harsh. What's going on, Rob? Foot injury last year maybe had an impact, and maybe some this year. He didn't have a setback. I understand that we can talk about these setbacks, but unless right now, like, he is actively injured, then I'm not seeing anything different in terms of how he plays, right? Like, we knew Zach was injured, right, last year, okay? Maybe Kobe was also injured when he was going through that rough stretch in December, okay? But when it comes to Pat, at least nothing has told me right now that he is currently injured, and nothing has changed, right? So unless he is currently still injured from the start of the season till now, okay, then there's that. But nothing has told me that he is currently injured, therefore I need his mentality to be better. Yeah, I gotta see you have confidence in yourself, man. Because, again, unless you're actively injured, then you gotta just have full confidence in your body right now. You also had a nice screen out that first Vooch basket of the game. Shot horrible, though. I mean, sure, nice screen, but... Okay, how consistent is that, though? That's not consistent from Pat either. Plus, that first drive, he lost the ball, was stripped, in my opinion, by one of the two or both Wash defenders. We'll go through the footage tonight, but I'll show you where I'm a little bit pissed off at him overall. He's been up, but last year he shot terrible from 3 or 40% in the short span before he went out for the year. Well, I mean, even this year where he started out pretty dreadful, like I don't think his 3-point shot is even that bad. Like I actually think Pat's 3-point shot has been pretty solid. Even for a year that I've been pretty harsh on him, like I think this is fine. You're still shooting 37% on a career high, 4.7 attempts per game. Okay, that's fine, right? I don't have an issue with that whatsoever. It's just the fact that I feel like you should like, you're shooting 4.7 threes per game right now in terms of average. Okay, why can't that be 6? Like, you at least should have 5. Like, at bare minimum, it should be 5 right now. 5 threes a game should be at your bare minimum. Okay, even for a guy that is not heavily involved in terms of offensive actions, you should still at least have 5 threes per game right now as a starter, right? But it's the whole, you're shooting 39% from the field. your shots per game overall are basically the same the last couple of seasons. Okay, that's the problem overall. But then I still feel you're still turning down threes, which would also increase your shots per game. So I'm not concerned about the 3-point shot. I'm concerned about him turning down threes and actively still not being better at the basket. Yeah. Oh no, you're fine, Rob. I appreciate you still just chatting. Kobe Down versus Wemby, people also maybe helped hold or maybe make Wemby lay as well. Just mentioning things that aren't on the stat sheet, but we need more of. Sure, if you want to give him that, I personally will not give him that though. That's something that should just be standard, but I'm also just not going to give him that. Many years active, seeing the most amount of basketball in the paint we've seen in a long time. I don't know if exactly for this season because I think he's had some games like this, but I mean, Washington just straight was not defending him early. Can you talk about post-game how the coaching and players want to be more aggressive after the poor showing from last night? No, I'm not saying that 1-3 that he stepped back. I haven't seen that in a long time or at all this year. Maybe that is. So Mata's had that sort of shot in Summer League. He has not had that sort of shot, obviously, in the NBA so far. But that is potential for down the road. Just obviously not it's not now. That's down the road stuff for Buzelis. If he has that sidestep 3 in down the road, then that's awesome. I feel like, you know, my biggest worry was about him getting that shot off quick enough and everything. That's going out the window. I think Buzelis' shot is going to definitely get off easily against a lot of guys, so I'm not concerned about that. Even off the dribble or catch and shoot, like, he's fine. But I think overall though with Buzelis, like, that's stuff for down the road. But like, if there's a catch and shoot though, I know Buzelis is not shooting that well, but he's impressed me. He's shooting that 3 ball with full confidence, and I appreciate that. The only way you're gonna get better, man. You gotta have that full confidence in yourself. That's the only way you're gonna get better. Or again, if you don't have full confidence in your shot, then go get better. Like, go get better to the point where you have full confidence in your damn shot. So that you'll be shooting it with full confidence. Field 3 has definitely fallen lately. It has fallen lately, sure. But overall, even though it's fallen lately, I think he's still shooting a fine percentage. I'm not concerned about it. So let me just show you this one more time in terms of T-Will's overall just shooting splits, okay? So just look at this, all right? So this is his rookie season. So he played in all but one game. A reminder, that season was only 72 games. Okay, so he played in all but one game. He shot 48% from the field and 39% from three-point range. So already, in just this season alone, right, you're like, okay, he's a pretty okay shooter. He's not taking enough, but in the shots that he did take from three-point range, like, he's a pretty solid shooter, okay? So you have that kind of already in your head, all right? This year, again, like, I'm willing to wash it. But even again this year, like, you know, he's just shooting percentage-wise, it's pretty solid overall. Then this year happened, okay? Still, though, 46% from the field, so a little bit worse, but he shot a career-high 3-point attempts per game, and he shot a career-high, again, at 3-point percentage. So it's like, yet again, like, hey, you see this, right? Last year, injuries throughout a lot of the year, but the field goal percentage took another dip in terms of overall field goal percentage. Still 40% for three-point range. Now, this year, the three-point percentage is taking a little bit more of a dip right now, at least so far. But the biggest concern for me is this. It's like, why is this going down? Okay, you're already shooting 46% from the field, shooting eight shots a game in previous years. Okay, this should not be going down for Pat. Right? If anything, it should be either staying consistent and you're shooting more shots, or it's going up. Okay, and it's the fact that, like, it's going down is what's really concerning me for Pat. And we're just going to go ahead and just look at some of these things yet again for Pat. Okay? So this is his rookie season. Okay? At the rim, this rookie season, he shot 67% from at the rim. Okay? That is a very solid percentage. It could be better, but it's a very good percentage. Okay? This year, though, at the basket, for whatever damn reason, and I don't know what it is, but coming into tonight's game, he is shooting a whopping 56% from at the basket. On layups alone, he is shooting 52%. On layups in his rookie season, he shot 48%. So no matter what year it is for Pat, no matter what year, okay, he has continuously struggled to shoot layups. Now, in his rookie season, he made dunks at a really high rate, okay? On 54 dunk attempts, he made 94%, okay? In this season alone, Pat Williams coming into this game, he is attempting 8 dunks a game, or he attempted 8 dunks so far this season. He has made 3, okay? Last year, okay, again, this was, I know it was not a full season for him last year, but last year, at the rim, poor percentage. Dunk percentage, though, he missed 10 dunks last year on 39 attempts. Layups, 44% on layups. Not good, okay? So I'm already just showing you a trend, right? This year for Pat, this was a full season for Pat, okay, if I'm remembering correctly. Yeah, so this is his 3rd year, so 2022-23 season, okay? At the rim, 64%. That's overall, that's pretty good. But on layups, yeah, again, 48% from the field on layups. On dunks, he missed 23 dunks this season, 72%. That's inexcusable. You cannot be missing this many dunks, okay? So throughout his career, throughout Patrick Williams' entire career, okay, his layup percentage has been bad. His inability to finish at the rim consistently is a problem, and that has not gotten better, okay? I don't care what sort of role you are in on offense. I don't care if you have the ball every single time down the floor, or if you're a guy like Pat right now that's playing a lot off ball. You should not be shooting under 50% on layups. You should not be shooting 70% on dunks. I don't care what role you're in. If you're a 6'7" in the NBA, okay, with at least good enough athleticism that Pat Will has, you should not be shooting this low a percentage on layups and dunks. That alone shows you that Patrick Williams has failed to develop himself. That's not on Billy. That's not on the front office. That's not on DeMar DeRozan. That's not on Zach LaVine. That is on Patrick Williams. He has failed to develop the ability to finish consistently at the basket in his 5 seasons in the NBA. That's on nobody but him. Nobody but him. This is why when I say to people that I don't care that if you think that DeMar DeRozan was the issue, if he can't play next to DeMar DeRozan, he can't play next to anybody. Okay? DeMar DeRozan's gone. He's still the same Patrick Williams. Still can't finish at the basket. Okay? So very clearly, this is not on Patrick Williams. Or sorry, this is on Patrick Williams then. It was on DeMar DeRozan. His inability to finish at the basket, that was not on DeMar DeRozan. That was on Patrick Williams. And it's still on Patrick Williams. This alone is where I get seriously frustrated at people when I see some people that just go out and defend the hell out of him, that try to make excuses. This is not it. Okay? This right here shows you that he himself has failed to develop. Okay? Now, the stats here are not going to be showing you, like, the inability to, like, shoot off the dribble. Okay? We have to go to NBA.com for that. But that still has not gotten better for Pat. Okay? That, again, is on nobody but him. This is stuff that's on him. This is not on anybody else. This is not on the coach. This is not on DeMar DeRozan. It's on him. Okay? But if Pat, he had that quote today, and it was just so interesting just reading it. if Pat really wants more opportunities on ball, then go get better. I'm being dead serious right now. I'm not kidding around. Like, he's asking for like more opportunities to like be on ball, have opportunities to make decisions with the basketball. Like, if you really want to have those opportunities, go get better. Because right now you're not better. You're just not. You do not get the ability to just be like, yeah, I want this opportunity right now. Like, that's not how it works. Okay? Like, Pat just straight up needs to just figure it out and just be better. Okay? But this alone right now, just like, again, just like, I'm pull-ups from 3-point range. He's shooting 32%. On 2-point shots, he's shooting 32%. Okay, like, it's just like, what are we looking at? Off 2 dribbles, he's shooting 36%. He has not made a shot from 3-point range off 2 dribbles. Okay, he is shooting 14% on from 3-point range off 3 to 6 dribbles. Okay, like that doesn't tell me that, like, yeah, you deserve to have the basketball in your hands, right? Once again, like, it's just like, this has been the theme. It has not gotten better for Pat, right? Like, this isn't like all of a sudden, like, oh yeah, it's just gonna like suddenly figure themselves out. Like, I mean, these are better numbers, sure, but like, it's not just gonna be like, yeah, you'll figure it out, like 3 to 6 dribbles again. Let's see rookie year though. This is what I'm most interested in, because I think this would have been his best year overall. There's off the dribble. Even this year, it's not even that great. This is better. This is obviously not good. Yeah, it just, I just tell people, man, Pat needs to just go be better himself. Like, he has to just figure out a way to increase his scoring ability, increase his ability just to be better at the basket. Be better off the dribble. He's just not that right now. Pat's shooting 50% on layups this year. I mean, I think this honestly might be the biggest thing of it all. I mean, I don't think NBA.com is perfect when it comes to like what they put in as like a drive, right? But Patrick Williams alone this year is shooting 5 of 20 on driving layup shots. Like, I don't care what the hell your position is. One, this is just inexcusable. But two, if you think you deserve the ball more, what the hell is this? I can't give you the basketball if your driving layup percentage is at 25%. I just can't. Pull-up jump shots, shooting 34% this year. Yeah, I'm interested in his rookie year stats just because I just want to look at some things. So, again, driving layup shot, he is shooting 37.5% in his rookie season on that. Jump shot, 36%. That's not great. Layup shot, 30%. Pull-up shot, so, like, this is probably his best in terms of when he looked at his pull-up jump shots. Running layup up 50%. Doesn't attempt step backs. So I guess here's a step back jump shot. Like, again, not incredible that you don't take enough. I'll go to this year, though. This is his 3rd year, full season. Okay. Layup, shooting 48%. Driving layup shot. Hey, look, this is the highest it's ever been, but still, this is not good enough. You can't be shooting 40% on driving layup shots. Jump shot, this is much better overall. Pull-up jump shot. Hey, this is solid. Not good enough from 3-point range. You didn't take enough. Not good enough here. Step back, like not nothing there. So in the end, I'm just gonna repeat it one more time, and then I'll read everything you said, Rob. Here, there's a lot when it comes to Pat, right? That a lot of people are saying, "Oh, it's Billy's fault. It's the roster. It's DeMar DeRozan. It's the front office." At the end of the day, there's too many stats, there's too much from the eye test that say that Patrick Williams has not developed his, like, in terms of just his own personal stuff that he needs to develop, he has not developed them enough. So once again, he lacks confidence right now in terms of his decision making, when to attack the basket, when to drive, when to shoot the shot. That already alone is a problem for me, because again, I would much rather have the guy that shoots every shot with confidence and shoots way too many shots and reel him back in, versus the guy that I'm begging to take a shot when he's open. Okay? But if Patrick Williams can't have that mentality shift to have full confidence in every shot that he takes, have full confidence in every decision that he makes, okay, then he himself needs to go get better, and get better to the point where he has full confidence in every damn move, every decision, every shot that he makes, or that he takes, okay? He needs to go work on his game to the point where he feels like that every shot that he takes, he has full confidence in it. He has not done that. That's on him. And that alone is on him. That is not on anybody else but him. That's the problem with Patrick Williams right now. It's on no one else but that. But him. Hi, Tyler. I'll read your stuff in a second here. Confidence shooting's been very low the past few games. I think overall in the past few games, I think tonight was a showing where he was actively being more aggressive. He didn't make the shots though, right? So while I appreciate the aggressiveness, and I would much rather you go at a game and take shots and be hella aggressive and miss, right? They also showed tonight that he is not good enough right now. He has not worked enough on his game to be taking these aggressive timings, right, and have the ball in his hands more often like he wants to. About decision making when you get the ball, he had high percentage of drives when he's had one-on-one situations. I don't have those stats, but I promise you it's probably more open than compared to others. You're going to tap at the basket at the right times. No, I agree. Like what he did tonight. Like he tried to post up Jordan Poole. He tried to attack in transition. Right, that's great. You're talking about, I know this was talking about dunks. So Rob, I went and watched all 8 of his dunks that were counted as dunks, right? And again, reminder, there are some that are not counted as dunks and he just flat out just missed, or he bobbled it and no one was in the vicinity and he just lost the ball. Okay. So again, those are not counted as dunks, but those were dunk attempts for him. I watched all 8. There are very few with contact. There are some where he's trying to navigate traffic, but there isn't much contact. But on all 8, he should have made all 8. Like, I'm being dead serious. Whether there was some contact or not, he should have made all 8. The smacking the backboard thing, Rob, I just don't think it's that big of a deal because everyone then has to deal with it. The guys, right? Levine shoots so many more layups than Patrick Williams. So like you would think that he would have more people hitting the backboard to affect the shot for Zach. He hasn't had an issue with it. Guys, his basketball career has not practiced a lot of layups. That's on him, right? Different nights, again, on him. That's on nobody but him. What's the percentage of that mid-range pull-up he's been doing? So this year, in terms of his mid-range shots, I mean, this is just from Basketball Reference, okay? This is bad, right? The percentages for Basketball Reference, there's some mid-range shots, is just bad. In terms of then his shots this year, okay, so 8 to 16 feet, 25%, 60 to 24 feet, 25%. I know those are some twos, but mid-range, what what NBA.com counts as 25%. I can't personally see like mid-range pull-up shot on like different shots that he's taken, but just in general though, I mean, you can just look at this, right? I'm gonna guess most of his shots in mid-range are off the dribble. It's not been good, right? I think his passable part of it is that guys that he's on the court with are just more aggressive than him. Again, the decision making when you get the ball, maybe he needs way more development there. But again, isn't that just on him? That's not because of the players, right? Like, I understand that, yeah, Levine, Vooch, and Kobe are all more aggressive than him on the basketball court, right? But that does not mean that that excuses Pat from being aggressive at the proper timing and taking a wide open 3-point shot when you need to take it, right? That's a nobody but him, okay? The guys that are giving you a wide open shot, take the damn shot. Like, that's when you should be most aggressive, is when there's a wide open damn shot. Take it. But he's not taking it. So he's always over-calculating? I agree. Brady Peel did better those two plays than some of the guards some games this year, so I don't know what to say very. But Rob, again, I don't care who then you're playing with, right? First and foremost, these guys wanted him to take every three because they were screaming at him to shoot it. But if you can't play with Vooch, Dak, and DeRozan because you think you're gonna fuck up the offense and you're gonna be getting the blame because you took a shot that you think, oh, they're gonna blame me for taking a bad shot, then who are you gonna play with then? You're not gonna play with anybody. Like, I don't think you can play with anybody then. Isn't he shooting a lot deeper this year from 3 too? Maybe. But is Pat wanting the ball in his hands more, or just fans saying he should have it in his hands more? So fans have always called for Pat to have the ball in his hands more. But there was a quote today that was pretty interesting, and I'll pull it up here. And I just thought personally it was one of the most interesting things to look at, because Pat has never really been vocal about his offensive role. But this popped up today that I thought was pretty wild. Sorry, hold on, I'm trying to find it for you guys. All right, it's full screen now. So this is Pat, okay? This is Pat this season. I did not see this quote, honestly. I honestly, I did not see, and I don't know if this was from Coley's article or not, but I don't know when this was really said. But read this. In the half court, it's obviously a little tougher. We have plays and sets that we run where we trust the ball on Kobe's hands, Zach's hands, Josh's hands, and Vooch's hands. And I think as of now in my career, at least up to this point, a lot of my buckets have come off closeouts, transitions, getting downhill that way. That's where I am in my career, or where they have me at in my career. Like, just think about this for a second, okay? Like, that alone, at least in what I interpret that quote as, it's like, I want the ball more in my hands. These guys all get the trust to have the ball in their hands, but I don't. And this is where they, coach, front office, other players, have me in my career. Like, it's a pretty damn interesting quote, right? Because it almost sounds like from Pat, it's like, why didn't I get more opportunities to have the ball in my hands? Because right now in my career, you guys have me in this spot up position, not having the ball as much in my hands, right? Not being able to make decisions. So, look, I'm not here to say that Pat went out and said I want to have the ball more in my hands. I'm just interpreting his quote, and it's a pretty damn interesting quote, right? So, like I said though, if Pat wants to have this responsibility, then you gotta go play. You gotta go be better. You gotta make yourself better. You gotta show that you can be better. You getting these opportunities that you want, right, as the player that you are today, is not gonna be making you better. You yourself have to go work on your game and prove to the coaches that you deserve to have the ball in your hands more. You need to go out and you need to go out there and you need to actively go work on your game. Because, again, Kobe White, reminder, everybody, Kobe White, same regime, same front office, same damn coach, same damn players, same DeMar DeRozan, plays the same position as Zach LaVine, okay? We saw for Kobe White in his fourth season, okay? We saw him take a step forward, okay? He had more opportunities with the ball in his hands, and I'm talking about this year, okay? I'm not talking about this year, I'm talking about this year, okay? He came off the bench, he had less minutes, okay? He had less minutes in his previous season, he started less games, okay? But he, again, same front office, same coach, same players, same DeMar DeRozan, play the same position as Zach LaVine, guard-heavy team, okay? He showed, though, in this season that he improved his game, right? He showed that ball handling wise, he was more trustworthy. He showed the better finishing ability at the rim and the better ability to create shots off the dribble consistently, right? The numbers don't always show it, but just the eye test alone, you look at it and you're like, oh, hey, you went out there with less minutes, less opportunities to have the ball in your hands compared to your rookie season, your sophomore season, and then the third season, right? And you showed that you went out there in the offseason and it drastically improved your game. Therefore, now, come then the 23-24 season, we trust you with the ball in your hands now because you showed it in this season, okay? And because Zach went out and Lonzo's out, we need a guard, right, to have the ball in their hands. We trust you because you showed in a season where you had a significantly lower role than in your previous seasons, okay, in a lineup that featured DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine, that you were a better player, that you developed, that you worked on your game, and now we can trust you to have the ball in your hands now in a more significant role, okay? Patrick Williams has been consistently starting, right? And he has not shown this ability whatsoever. He has not improved his game. He has not gone out there and shown any sort of ability that he can finish better at the basket, finish dunks, layups better at all, finish plays off just in general, being able to shoot off the dribble consistently, right? Just being able to have a consistent ball handle. He has not shown any ability to do that whatsoever in his time here so far. That's on nobody but him. So when I say to people, it's like, Tyler, because I saw your comment of like, you're like, you talked about this. It's like, it brings up back the old discussion, is the vets stunting his growth? Well, I don't think those vets stunted Kobe White's growth. And reminder, Kobe came off the bench, okay? Like, we're talking again, significantly less opportunities off the bench, less minutes, okay? less opportunities with the ball in your hands because DeMar DeRozan's now here. Okay, like honestly, I'm gonna be dead serious, y'all. I think DeRozan, in theoretical sense, would take the ball more out of Kobe's hands than Patrick Williams' hands, just in terms of the way that they play. Because DeRozan's more of like the point guard, right? With the way that he's the like main playmaker and main ball handler, right? But yet, even with that, Kobe still showed me in this season where he came off the bench, had less minutes than his previous 3 seasons, okay, and had the ball taken out of his hands, that he still developed into a better player without the ball. Less time with the ball, less minutes, less everything, right? But he still showed me that he could be better, okay? Io, since he's got here, again, same regime, same front office, same damn head coach, same damn DeMar DeRozan, same damn Zach LaVine, same Nikola Vucevic, right? He has shown me that he has developed also. He has increased his efficiency. He is a damn good finisher at the basket. He is one hell of a player in transition. His three-point shot is still kind of, has ups and downs, but he is willing to take that damn shot every single time. He has improved as a player. He's improved as a defender. Ball's not in his hands at all, right? He's a guy that is mostly kind of like, he has the ball in his hands in transition, but he isn't necessarily a guy that you run your offense with, right? But yet, he's improved. Again, same head coach, same front office, same players. So, why can't Pat? It's all mentality. This maybe showing flash, but nothing tells me to put the ball in his hands. Yeah, I'm not putting the basketball in Patrick Williams' hands at all. Not right now. I'm still on Pat Iron for some reason. Look, Boo Baba, I don't blame you. Like, for people that are still on Pat Island, like, I don't blame you. There are still people there with you. Okay, I want to make it clear, like, you're not alone on that island. But it's just, I'm just saying to people, like, the excuses that are being brought up that makes no sense. Okay, like if you, I talked about it earlier. Like COVID, I think that did affect him. Not having a summer league your rookie season, I also do think that affected him. Okay, but I also look around and I'm just like, these guys are developing. Why can't others? And I'm not saying that like this front office has developed guys like, I mean, look at Dalen Terry, for example. I don't think he developed. Marko Simonovic, also another guy. Okay, and the whole thing's out. Like, we'll see what Julian Phillips it comes into. I understand that. It's just that there are just guys here though that I look at. I'm like, hey, these guys actually did become better, and Pat hasn't. So what at what point do we start looking at the player themselves versus what's around him affecting him, or what could be affecting him? It's not necessarily them, it's the player's mentality. And if the team is trying to win, you want to win more than score for yourself. You're being a team player. Well, again, you can still be a team player like Kobe White was in this season, right? He was very much a team player, but he still showed you that you improved, right? You can be a better team. You could be a team player, but make your damn layups, right? That does not take away from taking away shots or being, stopping an offense or whatever. Just making your damn layups is a pretty damn good start at being a better team player, isn't it? That requires nothing in terms of having the ball more in your hands. That doesn't require you to have plays run for you. You stopping the offense or taking the ball out of someone else's hands, okay? You alone just making your layups is just showing that you've been a better player and you're a better team player, okay? You making your layups does not stop the team from playing as a team. That's just making layups. Pat himself has not done that. Pat has not made layups more. He has not done that, okay? So I understand what you're saying there, Rob, but at the same time, I'm like, hey, I'm just asking you just to make shots at the rim right now. I don't care how you get them, just make the shots. That does not require you to have the ball in your hands whatsoever. You just need to make the damn shots at the basket. That doesn't require you to change an offense. That just requires you just to be a better player. Could improve 2 years until last year. But I said, though, in the 2022-23 season, Kobe improved. You saw it, right? The numbers don't show it. But Kobe in that season, you could see he was a much better ball handler. He was a significantly better ball handler this season, okay? Much, much better. He then obviously exploded last year because he got thrust into the starting lineup, right? But we're talking about this year, he was actively a much better player this year in 2022-23. The numbers don't show because, again, he was coming off the bench, but he was a better player. You saw the improvement. I said it earlier, Rob. If Pat is hurt, right? Like, if Pat is actively hurt, then what I'm saying goes out the window. But right now, though, I don't think he's hurt because he's playing the exact same way that he played his rookie season when he wasn't hurt. Okay? Like, I know it's a little bit harder to kind of maybe justify, but because the baseline's weird with Pat. But right now, he is playing the exact same way he was playing when we know he was healthy. Okay? So, again, when we're talking about years for Pat, where you look at him, you're just like, okay, here's his numbers when we know you're healthy. Okay, he's playing the exact same way. So for now at least, okay, like I understand what you'd be like. Maybe he is hurt. Okay, maybe he is, but for now, he is playing the exact same way as if he wasn't hurt. And if anything, he has shown me when he is hurt, he plays significantly worse. Right? So, at least for me, for the way that I evaluate things, I know when he's hurt because he'll play worse than he is already playing now. Okay? We saw at the beginning of the season when he clearly was not 100%. That was not him. Like, that he was not 100%. He was missing things left and right that he should not be missing. Not just quickly, like, in terms of his feet quickness, he was not there. Okay? So, yeah, I give the players that benefit when they are injured, but for right now, okay, he has not been playing at all in terms of like, oh, like his his timings or his foot quickness or anything. Like, he looks like his normal self. He just isn't playing well. So in my opinion, I think he's healthy. That's at least just my opinion. No, I agree. I gave Kobe that little bit of leeway as well. Like, I gave that leeway. I'm like, maybe he is injured. Now, I will say, though, I think Kobe looks a little bit better, obviously, recently. He just dunked over Wembanyama, right? And, like, it's not like he put up, like, an amazing performance tonight, okay? So, this is the reason why I still tell people, I'm like, even when Kobe is, like, right, I don't necessarily think he's going to become, like, a 25-point-per-game scorer, like, how people want him to. But you know, I give him that benefit of the doubt, but he just dunked over Wembanyama, so I do think that he's right now. But we still see like this sort of game where it's like, yeah, it's a nice game from him. It's not amazing, right? But what I'm saying is just it's like I give the players the benefit of the doubt when they're injured. But Kobe looks right now, so it's hard for me to say that he's not 100%. Therefore, we're not seeing the best games from him. Like, I think he looks okay. Especially after he hit 9 threes against the New York Knicks. I have a jersey in a Bulls past city edition jersey. Yeah, I gotta understand that. I have Levine. When they have the Chicago flag, city edition jerseys. Those I think were the best city edition jerseys, by the way, for the Bulls. I have Levine's. I guess it's jersey, not jersey. What's people's age? 23? I believe it is 23. But if you're wondering, though, right? Because it's like, if you're wondering, like, well, Kobe figured it out this year in this fourth year, okay? Well, we're in Pat's fifth year, okay? And so if you're gonna tell me that, well, Kobe White figured out his fifth year, okay? Well, this is Pat's fifth year, okay? So like, people are like, well, we waited with Kobe. I'm like, no, if this is Kobe figured it out like the year before this year, okay? And so again, even if you're gonna say, well, Kobe figured out his 5th year, well, guess what? We're in Patrick Williams' 5th year. It's his 5th year. So I'm just like, that's the reason why I'm just saying, like, you have to understand, there just comes a time where you have to just start looking at the guy. They've been given plenty of time. I'll give Pat maybe a little bit more time just due to the lack of games he's played, because he's missed time compared to Kobe not missing as much time. But the time's small now. Like, we're my Pat clock, like, I was already, like, after last year and everything, and just kind of looking at how things went, like, I was already, like, I was really losing my patience with Pat. I gave the benefit of the doubt at the beginning of the season because he clearly was not 100% to start the year. Then he got injured again, and I thought he came back and he played pretty well since he got injured, and then we've gone through this stretch. And it's just like, bro, you're back to playing, you know, your normal minutes, you look fine in terms of just how you're moving, then why isn't this better? Our postman guy in North Carolina throughout his career, took a while for him to, well, I mean, I think even just that alone, though, like, you can see Kobe's just rookie season, like, you saw a lot more from him in terms of just aggressiveness, being willing to shoot shots when they're open, going hard to the basket. Like, I have more faith that he's gonna try to he'll figure things out, because he has that mentality. He looks sounds so frustrating. I completely understand. I honestly think that I'm just voicing the frustrations of all Bulls fans, honestly. I'm pretty frustrated with Pat, but I'm also really damn frustrated just with how the Pat, I don't know what you exactly call them, but the Pat Knights, you know, the P. Will Knights, like, they will try to make up every damn excuse for him. And I'm like, I think some of them are legit in terms of, again, like, COVID is weird, drafted in a weird year, he didn't have summer league. I think that did maybe affect him a little bit. But when it comes to then, when I look at his layup percentage, and I'm like, this is on nobody but just him. Like, that's on just him. That cannot, there's no excuse for that. That's on nobody but Patrick Williams. You cannot, then they'll start going through all these, like, different excuses. I'm just like, I can't talk to you. You're actively making excuses for a guy that is currently in the NBA getting paid $18 million a year for shooting 48% from the field on layups. That's inexcusable from not just on Patrick Williams' end, but also your end. That's I can't respect you. And it frustrates the hell out of me, because I'm just like, when are you gonna come to your senses? I'm not saying that you need to stop being a Patrick Williams supporter. I'm just saying that you need to admit that this is it. This has gotten to a point now where it's inexcusable for your guy that you support. Okay? So, as much as I talked about with Zach last year, that Zach was not playing well, and I'm the biggest Zach LaVine fan. I said Zach was not playing well last year. He was actively not playing defense and was clearly not playing well. But if you're going to be supporting a guy, then you actively have to be, you know, at least a sort of objective with what you're seeing. And the stats back it up at this point. Like, you don't even need just to look at games. You can just look at stats and you're just like, holy hell, bro. This is insane that you're shooting 48% from the field on layups. Like, that's the problem. Tyler, I appreciate it. Thanks for making Bulls basketball fun. You're doing great. Get back to 60%. Yeah, honestly, bro. Oh, but if Pat could get back up to 60% soon, that'd be fantastic on layups. Thank you so much, Tyler. Tyler with the super chat. Yeah, get Pat back. Get Pat to 60%, man. That'd be awesome. I appreciate that a lot, Tyler. I appreciate that so much. Thank you so much for that super chat. Big shout out to Tyler. Let's see. I'm trying to. Am I really not? Oh, I guess I'm not allowed to pin it. But yeah, thank you so much, Tyler. So I was gonna try to pin it, but I guess I can't for whatever reason. But it is already up here. So thank you so much for that. I get frustrated at certain players for certain games for sure. I mean, yeah, I think we can all get frustrated at certain players for certain games. Like, that's fine. I'm just talking about now. Like, we're talking about now at least. Like, I don't care if you want to, like, say, like, well, Pat hasn't played this many games or now. I'm like, okay, whatever, fine. Pat has played, no matter what, he's played 4 seasons. Okay, I understand this is his 5th year, But like in terms of just games played, he has played 4 seasons. All right, so like I'm just combining this all, right? Or sorry, no, he's played 3 seasons. This is year 4 for him. Excuse me. He has played 3 seasons, no matter what. In terms of just games played, he has played 3 seasons. Okay, so if you're gonna be like trying to tell me like, hey, this isn't like he hasn't played that many games or whatever, like at the bare minimum, this is year 4 for him. Just in terms of games played, this is bare minimum year 4. Okay. Because reminder that there are some people that don't play, like you'll count it as a season if they play 55 games. Okay, that's enough time. All right. So he played all 82 in one game in one season. He played 72 in the shortened season. Like at bare minimum, we're looking at 4 seasons, or 3 seasons played. This is his 4th year. I personally count this as his 5th year, but if you want to say 4th year, fine. But you cannot tell me this is his 3rd year. That we're not at, we can't go to that point now. Especially after the games he's played now, right? Like including this year, it's not his 3rd year. This is his 4th year at bare minimum. So where I'm just voicing the frustrations of, at bare minimum, this is 3 years of inexcusable basketball in terms of certain stuff for Pat, but this is his 5th year, at least in my head, where I'm like, he has not gotten better. Guys space 4 times a year. If you get to the playoffs, you don't need big bodies. I agree, but there are a lot of guys in the NBA that are 6'7" and weigh 220. The black and blue Flag City edition jerseys were definitely the best. I agree. Yeah, those were awesome. I'll get my jersey in a second here. Yeah, I didn't mention that specifically at the first half of the year. He did slightly improve. My bad. Yeah. So Pat Pat at the start of the season, I don't think he was 100% because Pat came into the he seemed to not have like a full 100% off season. I mean, he saw an off season, okay, but he came in and was still trying to get things worked out. Preseason was pretty rough for him. Clearly was trying to get back into game shape, right? And then the first 8-ish games was pretty bad for him. I give him that pass there because he just clearly was not 100%, right? Then though he kind of started to figure things out a little bit, right? And he was doing a little bit better, and then he got injured, right? So he missed those 3 weeks, which I told you was going to be 3 weeks because that's how it goes for the Bulls. Comes back, right? And even in the limited minutes, when he came back, he actually looked pretty okay. Okay? He looked all right. So I'm not saying it was amazing, right? But he actually looked pretty okay. Then Pat, since he looked pretty okay, and then he even had some pretty nice games, right? The Spurs game was also pretty solid, but that's a game in between some bad ones. But after that little stretch, now it's been pretty bad recently. That's been the frustrating part. It's okay, you think that now that he's finally back to playing full minutes, then maybe he can show you this is where he's at, and we'll see a little bit more consistency from him. And he comes back and it's oh god, I don't know where we're at. Sorry, Tyler, I'm trying to pin this and I guess I just can't. I do apologize about that. But thank you once again, Tyler. Big shout out to Tyler. If you've not already hit the like on the super chat, go ahead and like it from Tyler. Field goal percentage go up more. I mean, overall, the field goal percentage, sure. I'm just more worried about the layups, bro. Pat's layup percentage is insane. How bad it's been. Oh, this is bad stretch, man. So I'll show you what I mean. Again, it's not. It is sort of. It's limited, but it's still. I would consider a bad stretch for Pat. Okay. So we'll go to just recent games for Pat here. All right. So Washington tonight, bad. Indiana, bad overall. San Antonio, I can accept it overall, right? I think this is a pretty overall nice game, right? But New York, bad. Wizards also, again, bad, okay? And then Charlotte was pretty solid. No Zach in that game, though. And then Milwaukee didn't have to guard Giannis, but it was overall a pretty solid game from Pat. So overall, though, we're looking at, if you were just going to count this stretch, like the 4 of the last 5 games are pretty bad for him, at least in my opinion. Which again, though, it's like, if you're wondering, like, is that being too harsh? Like, this is what I'm talking about, though. Like so Pat got injured here, okay? First game back, bad. Like, again, I'm not that's not too concerning. This game, again, is still trying to get his stuff underneath him. But then he has these games here where I'm like, this is much better. Like, I can accept this. Like, you shot 9 threes in this game, and you shot 6 in this game. You shot 62%. Like, I can accept these games. Like, you're getting more rebounds, right? These are games I can accept from Pat. Like, I'm not upset about it. But then you then suddenly have this stretch of games here where I'm like, I don't know where you're at. Like, that's the part where I'm just like, holy shit, this is a problem. This has been Pat's problem all the time. Like, if Pat went and did this every single game, then I'm not here complaining. But he doesn't. He has these issues where he comes in and is like, yeah, we're looking great, and then he'll have a stretch here where you're just like, what the hell? Or it's not about anything. So I mean, honestly though, Tyler, like this channel is about you guys though. I'm being dead serious. Like, you guys have been the reason why this channel exists, and I sincerely do appreciate it. Like, you guys have been awesome. Like, Tyler, you're I think the second you're the third, I think, super chat ever. But you guys just watching is the reason why this channel exists. So I just want to point that out. Yeah, like, you guys are awesome. Like, I want to make that clear. This channel doesn't exist without you guys. So, you know, as much as I do appreciate you giving me the credit, and I am the streamer, but at the end of the day, I look at this is a conversation, right? This isn't like, hey, here's my content, enjoy it, right? Like, this is a conversation. Like, this is the content is the conversation, you know? So you guys are just as important to this channel as me, and so I sincerely do appreciate it. The money, like the ad revenue, it does help me do this a little bit more often than I than obviously not getting any money. So that I will say, like, it really does help me a lot. But I never ask for donations. Just you watching alone is a lot for me. It significantly means a lot. How long is this best? Okay, so I see 2 separate stretches where he looks good. So yeah, I mean, it's up to what you want to say, but like, I think this stretch here from this Boston game, we'll count the Milwaukee up to the Charlotte game. Like, I think this is pretty solid from Pat. Like, this is like really solid from him. Then I also then said, like, I do think that like here-ish area is also pretty good from him. Then we'll skip the Dallas one, but like, let's say from Utah, right, to like here, like this is pretty solid from Pat. Again, the first couple of games for Pat, I think I said first 8, but let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So let's say first 6 games for Pat, I gave him that pass. I was just like, I understand, you know, you gotta get back into game shape. You know, things weren't exactly 100% for you. I gave him the pass here. So then this is nice stretch, and then you not exactly great here. Then you had this little nice stretch since you got back, right? Okay, 2 points back to back is insane. I agree. But then, not to mention, then you also then in the last 5 games you had a 5-point outing where you went 1 for 5, and then the Washington outing where you just didn't have much impact on the game. You scored 7 points and only took 6 shots. Trying to pause, come back, but I appreciate it. Don't get my bag again for getting riled up. I appreciate it, Rob. I don't know when you'll see this. Don't worry about getting me riled up. That's part of the content here. Again, it's part of the conversation. If I ever, by the way, if you ever think I'm rude, let me know. I don't want to ever be rude. And again, I'm not yelling at you or anything. I'm just, you know, expressing my frustrations. But yeah, thank you, Rob. Whenever you do catch up, thank you. Okay. Yeah, this is up to you, whatever you think, but again, I watch every game. I have every game recorded except for the Charlotte game because it cut out on me. It's up to what you think from this. I personally think that, again, like, first 6 games, you know, I give Patrick the pass. A little nice stretch. Then he got injured, where, you know, he had some games that weren't exactly the best. Came back, you know, had to get back into shape again. Had a nice stretch here, and then since the Washington game, I'm just like, what the hell? The Spurs game was nice, but, you know, even then, it's like I can be even a little bit critical of that Spurs game where I feel like he didn't shoot enough. So it's just, this is the issue with Pat. If you go out and you give me, like, you know, if every single game was like 12 points, 15 points, you know, 16 points, 12 points, 15 points, 16, like, if you just give me that every single night, I'm not here complaining. It's just that it's this sort of stuff here that I look at this and I'm like, why do you have games where you score 2 or you score like 5, and then there's games where I see you score 17? That's the problem. I can't have that with Pat. Again, here, if it's here and there, again, everyone's not perfect. Like, if it's here and there, like, again, it's fine. But you're averaging 9 points a game. That's the problem. Really quickly, I'm just gonna show you this stuff here just to show you what I mean in terms of his lack of finishing. Again, the numbers already show it, so I'm sure that we're all aware of it. But, like, let me just show you some stuff here that concerns me when it comes to Pat's inability to finish. Okay, because I'm not just like, you know, I'm not just like saying shit. Like, I'm actively like, this is stuff that to me is a problem. Like, it's not like, oh, he's like contested every single shot at the basket. It's like, I look at Pat and his inability to finish at the basket and he's like wide open, or he should easily finish this one and he just doesn't. Sorry, hold on, quickly. So we'll start with the good, just so I'm not being like, hey, we're only showing negatives from Patrick Williams today. That's not the plan. We'll start with the good. Okay. We'll start off where Pat does a good job of being aggressive and understanding who he has matched up against him. Okay. So again, this is just be quick film breakdown. I'm not going in depth here, but again, it's like, okay, quickly here, he sees, hey, I have Jordan Poole on me. All right. So this is where I need Pat to understand to be aggressive, right? So I appreciate this. Like, if he does this more often and he just happens to miss, I'll be less mad about him. But he doesn't do this more often, right? He doesn't do this consistently enough. But he sees here, hey, this is Jordan Poole. I need to go at him and try to get good post position and get a shot at the basket. He does just that. Spins, finishes at the basket over Jordan Poole. Good job. That's a big thumbs up from me. And hey, I honestly, I don't know what it would take, but bro, maybe Zach needs to pay him $50 for every time he does this. Like, I don't know what it's gonna take, but that I need to see consistently every single time from Pat. If he sees that he's a small guy on him, go and do that. Even if you don't get the basket, like, just that alone, like, or if you don't get the basketball, that alone is gonna put pressure on the defense. That's what I want to see. Okay. Like, that's stuff that won't show up in the box score, but I appreciate it. Okay. So then we're unfortunately now we have to go to the misses because it's just, again, that was his only shot made today, which is really unfortunate. But this is it. So like I said, if Pat would do this just consistently, I have less issues. So, like, this is another possession where he sees, hey, Jordan Poole's on Patrick Williams, because, by the way, they're not going to put Jordan Poole on Zach LaVine. They're not going to put on Kobe White. So he's going to be put on Patrick Williams because they don't think he's a threat to score. So what do? You post him up. You throw it down here. Pat needs to finish this, but I can live with this a little bit, right? And if you would do this and you just happen to miss, like, I will be less mad at you. Okay? You just happen to miss. It's a good shot. You just missed it. Like, just as much as you taking a wide open 3-point shot in the corner is a good shot and you just happen to miss it. Hey, this is a good shot. This is good overall mentality, good aggressiveness, good awareness. You just happen to miss. I can live with it. Missed shots are okay. Like, it's perfectly fine for you to miss a shot. Like, that's fine. However, though, if it's a wide open layup, you cannot be missing those. That's the one where I'm like, hey, you can't be just missing layups that you need to make. Okay, that's the one exception, especially dunks. right? You can't be missing dunks either, which Pat unfortunately does too many of those. But so there's that for Pat, and then unfortunately we need to show this play, and this is the one where, in my opinion, I appreciate the aggressiveness again, but you missed the shot, and in my opinion, this is one that you cannot miss. Here we go. So again with Pat, so rebound, right? He gets the rebound and he's off to the races. This is good. This is a good sign for Pat. He's running off with the basketball, pushing tempo. Good. Okay. Now you get past this guy, right? I'm sorry, I don't know who exactly this is. I'd have to look at the jersey number, but you get past this guy. So at this point right now, I'm thinking this is a shot that needs to go in. Okay. Like you got past the main initial defender. You need to make the shot. You need to get to the basket and make this. Okay. I don't know. At least maybe I understand that playing NBA is tough, but like I don't really see much of a rim protector here. Like again, sure, but I think Pat needs to make this one. Like I don't really think Champagny is going to be coming over here and really affecting your shot that much. You're 6'7". Like again, you're not a small guard. You need to probably make this one. This is the reason why I have frustrations with Pat's layup percentage, because that's a shot that, in my opinion, he needs to make. Again, that's just my opinion. If you think it's too much contact or it's too much traffic, okay, sure. But at least in my opinion, that he has to make this one. I'm sorry. This is the reason why I get concerned when he misses shots at the basket. It's stuff like this. You got to make this one. You're in the NBA. You just have to make it. So yeah, that was the main stuff from Pat, and then I think he mostly took threes for the rest of the night. I'll have to look really quickly here.
Picture this. Saving up to 10% when you bundle your home and
He took some threes that quarter, and then
some things just click.
another three,
Get a quote today.
three. Yeah, I think that's it for Pat. So, it's just these little things that I look at, and I'm like, hey, you probably need to make this. That's quarter 3. Quarter 1. Layup. Okay, yeah. All right, cool. And then okay, so he had one more, I guess, in the quarter. There's the floater. Oh, he missed the putback. That's what it was. Oh, God. I forgot about this one. Honestly, I wiped this from my memory because it was so bad. So look, offensive rebounds, good. This is a big thumbs up from me. This is great from Pat. Continue doing this, right? This is good. Okay. Now you got the defender to jump over you, so good job here. Once again, this is not like no one's touching you here. Like I think we can all agree that you need to make this shot. I don't care what you think of Pat or if you want to make an excuse for Pat. This is a shot you need to make. Like, no one's guarding you. That's, again, one more time of just like, holy crap, your shots at the basket are not good enough. They're just not. You need to make these shots. This is another one that's just inexcusable to miss. So, the mentality tonight from Pat overall, again, was better. Again, we saw him post up Jordan Poole twice. We saw him get some offensive rebounds like in that possession. We saw him pushing in transition pretty hard on multiple possessions. It just, again, you want these opportunities to have the ball in your hands more, but when you can't finish off opportunities like that one I just showed you, like the one I showed you in transition where you didn't miss the layup, where, you missed the Jordan Poole one where it's, a 5-footer floater that you should probably make too. Like, you're just not going to get the basketball as much then. You have to prove that you're better as a player and you're able to make these shots to have the basketball just as much as I've talked about with Josh Giddey and his, why I don't give Josh Giddey the basketball if I was running the team, right? Like, I'm not gonna give Josh Giddey the basketball all the time if you can't prove to me that you are a guy that can make shots consistently. Okay, just like with Josh, it's the same thing with Pat. Like, everyone gets the same treatment. It's not like you're getting different treatment. You just are not. You just don't have. You're not making enough shots. I mean, Pat, again, this year, layup percentage is at 50% right now for this year, which is better, honestly, than some other years. Let's see for Josh this year. Not shy. That's splits. Whoops. Josh is shooting just a little bit better than Pat in terms of layups this year. And in Josh, in my opinion, also has been pretty bad on layups overall. That's an issue for Josh still. But, I mean, if a guy shoots 54% on layups and then a guy shoots 50%, I'm going to give it to the guy who shoots 54% on layups, right? It's just how it goes. It's how the world works, especially in the basketball world. I want to really quickly look at this. I know Zach's missed a few this year that he probably should have made, but I just want to see just 60% on layups, but 71% at the basket. Like, I mean, I'm sorry, but at the end of the day, I'm gonna give the basketball to the guy who is shooting 71% at the rim for a guard who is shorter than you and smaller than you, and he's also shooting 60% on layups as a guard. Like, you know? Bro, Zach LaVine on jump shots this year is shooting 43 for 44%. Like, that's insane. Especially with the other stats we aren't now, between him and Lonzo, there's defense. The defense gets me hyped, but also, yeah. But I mean, that's the issue though with Pat, right? It's like, you can have a serious effect in the game without showing up in the box score, right? But he doesn't do that either. He just doesn't. He doesn't have enough. Was when TheSlamDuncan announced this is a good night. I appreciate it, King Cap. Everything looked great till the shot. Yeah, pretty much. Giddey with 3 steals. Yeah, Giddey has been doing a decent job with his hands. I appreciate it. Also, Bazel's on ball always looks pretty rough until they put the shot. He blocks, gives me hope. Yeah, I really have hope for Buzelis just in terms of his defensive versatility. I'm really looking forward to how he develops on that end of the floor because, again, I think he's probably primed for that Giannis role on defense. You know, Giannis is more of like Giannis has been more on ball this year, but Giannis has been like the main help defender for the Bucks, right? Kind of allowing him to play a little bit free safety, but be like the main help defender on rotations and be able to rotate and help quickly recover. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to Buzelis' development on that end of the floor. Yeah, I'm very interested to see how that's going to work out. Because man, oh man, am I excited for if Buzelis can figure that part out on the floor, then holy hell, I'm very excited to see what happens then. If he can just have that part down for him, and he doesn't really think about it, then like offensively, I think he'll take another step. But obviously, if he just becomes a really versatile defender and a 3-point shooter, catching 3-point shooter, hey, we're looking good. Because I know that no matter what, he's going to be able to finish better at the basket than what obviously he's showing this year. Unlike, did you break down Lonzo tonight? His game tonight? Not too much. I didn't like break down like his steals and like him being coming out behind like Valanciunas and stuff like that. I didn't break down that sort of stuff if you're wondering, but I did talk about Lonzo at the beginning, and just that I'm happy he's looking better with the shot because he struggled this year with the shot, but we'll see if that continues with Lonzo. But if he ends up just not shooting, let's say next game doesn't shoot that good anymore, it's like again like the expectation this year for me was no expectations for Lonzo, and that's going to continue. Because I don't want to throw out any expectations for him because he's doing what he's doing is historic. So, yeah, I'm happy though. His shot looks a lot better. I mean, defensively, yet again, he just looks fantastic. Like he honestly he looks so good defensively, especially off ball. That's incredible just to see. But yeah, I'm hoping his shot continues honestly because that's gonna be important. Who's also exactly what Pat's missing. His confidence is crazy. He thinks everyone on the team belongs on the poster. Yep. Now, again, I understand that Buzelis is 3 inches taller, has a better vertical, has a better wingspan. I get it. But, like, I mean, just because of that, like, oh. Am I still here? Oh, God. Oh, God. Sorry, that was weird. Sorry, YouTube crashed on me. Not enough memory to open this. What the hell? Okay, okay, Chrome might have crashed. This website might just crash, honestly. Sorry about that. That was weird as hell. As you can see, this is happening right now. I don't know why. But I'll bring chat back up here. But yeah, I understand Buzelis has that, like, he has the physical tools over Pat, but we see, you know, other players in this league that don't have the physical tools, but they just have the right mentality. So now it is what it is. Like I said, it's either Pat needs to have a mentality shift, or he needs to work on his game to the point where he feels so confident in himself that he's gonna make every damn shot. Did I click off the crack stream MB tabs? No. Yeah, I can neither confirm nor deny that I know what that is, and I'm just gonna say that I do not have a website open that is crack stream. Do not have that open. That got shut down, I think. I can neither confirm nor deny that I know what that is. Pat, I thought he's more athletic than a lot of guys and explosive. I won't lie though, Tyler. I don't know. I really don't know if he is that explosive and athletic. You see sometimes, like, you see signs, but I honestly do question his overall athleticism. Like, maybe he just isn't that athletic at the end of the day. He's much better off 2 feet than 1 foot when he tries to dunk. And so, like, I don't know if that's just like he's not timing things right or whatever, or what, but that to me signals lack of athleticism. But when he jumps off 2 feet, like, he looks really damn good. So I'm hoping that I'm wrong about that, but there are just moments with Pat where I look at him like, I don't know if you have all the athleticism in the world that I think you do. Like, is he on Levine level? No. But in terms of just kind of around his peers, like, yeah, he should have more with kind of what we've seen so far, but I don't know. All right, y'all. That being said, though, I do have to go ahead, and I am so sorry, but I have to end stream. I have a work shift tomorrow. But I do appreciate everyone being here. Sorry, I blanked out for a second. Yeah, I have a work shift tomorrow, so I know it's like, oh, it's Saturday. It's not really Saturday for me. So I do have to go ahead and end stream. Once again, thank you everyone for hanging with me tonight. Pretty solid Bulls win overall. I know this entire stream is mostly about Patrick Williams, but I think it had to be said just because Twitter right now for Bulls discourse on Patrick Williams is insane. Once again, to Tyler, I just want to thank you, Tyler, for the amazing super chat. Thank you so much for this. This means a lot. I know that I haven't gotten memberships up on the channel yet. I'll decide on that soon if we'll have memberships up. But super chats are always helpful. Thank you so much for that. And thank you everyone though for just watching. Just you guys watching, liking the stream helps me out so much. You have no idea. So thank you for that. Just being here, it truly means a lot. You guys are just as much the content as me. The conversation is the content, and I hope that everyone enjoys the content overall. So thank you. One more time, I'm just gonna shout this out. So again, there is no like official channel. Like, I don't have a link to anything just yet, but my plan is post-game streams, no matter what, Bulls content will always still be here on this channel, no matter what. It's just because of the way that I've been looking at how the streaming landscape is. YouTube has kind of not exactly done what I've wanted the streaming scene for them, or what I wanted them to do for the streaming scene. So again, Bulls content, no matter what is on this channel, Bulls streams, Bulls videos will always be here. That's never going to change. But I was always planning on doing some other like streams that are like kind of like gaming or like just kind of other stuff, like in general other things. So I'm gonna try to see if I can stream on Twitch. Again, I don't have a channel or anything, but if I do, I will be sending it out on a community post on my channel when I do start that. So just be on the lookout for that. If you are able to watch that, it would be much appreciated. Again, um, no, no, no obligations or anything. I don't need you to watch it, but if you want to pop in, that'd be awesome. I don't have a time or date or anything. I'm just letting you guys know. Because I do have some plans that I want to do. That do not involve always Bulls content or NBA content. So again, Tyler, King Cap, Boo Boo Baba, Rob, I sincerely do appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for everything today. Sincerely appreciate everything. Gotcha, thanks for the commentary. As always, that's why we come back. Appreciate it. Have a good night, Tyler. All good. I don't get angry comments debating sports, just fun debating something we differ on. I also hope I don't come across biased one way. I like to be as unbiased as possible as I can for data. I appreciate Rob. Honestly, you're really like I sincerely appreciate everything that you say. I can't always read everything because I gotta try to move things along, but I sincerely appreciate it. Yeah, I just want to make it clear, like I may sound angry, like I'm overall angry, but I'm not angry at you guys. I'm angry overall at some of the stuff that's like said on Twitter mostly. But I appreciate everything, Rob. Honestly, so when you make the channel, I will let you guys know. I promise you. Hint, hint. By the way, hint, hint. There's some fun stuff coming. That I have planned. The best I would be good at is if somebody asked me to think of every worst case scenario that can happen in a situation. I can come up with so many different areas. Honestly, that's honestly probably a very important job. Honestly, Rob. Yeah, I can definitely see that. Oh, sorry, I didn't realize the music stopped. Okay. Thank you guys so much. Sorry about the ad. I don't know why that's playing. I just want to get. All right, perfect. There we go. All right, thank you guys so much. An ad's gonna play from my channel as I end stream, but thank you guys so much again. I'll see you. Oh, I didn't preview the next game, but next game is Sunday against the Sacramento Kings. Stream's up in the air. Okay, I can't guarantee a stream for Sunday. Okay, just letting you guys know that now. All right, but whenever I do see you guys again, I'll see you. Peace out, y'all. Everyone be safe. Thank you.